Hi guys, back again. Just got back from San Luis Obispo for summer conference. Whew, it feels good to be back in my own bed. It's been 3.5 weeks on the road, almost a month on the road. Feels good to be back. Today we're talking about emotional disturbances, and what is caused by this is that they've felt some kind of deficit or some kind of expectation from others that they haven't met, which causes a huge disorder in their mind, and it doesn't allow the brain to adapt to their style of thinking or let them feel any way, shape, or form like they're doing the right thing, which is very hard to deal with sometimes. I've had a few students in my class that are ED or emotionally disturbed, as we've talked about already. And these are by far the most challenging for me because you don't necessarily know the whole backstory. I mean, you know some of it, but you don't know the whole thing. So some characteristics I try to use as I tread very, very lightly when dealing with emotionally disturbed children. I don't know the triggers. We call them triggers in the business here. You don't know what's going to trigger a set off. You don't know if it's you say something that reminds them of the person that they let down or let them down, or you just say something that sounds very similar to that person, or you do the exact same or have the same mannerisms as that person. I've been watched very closely by principals in the past to make sure that I'm following those guidelines and dealing with um, those triggers as best as I possibly can. But being a first year teacher, it's been very tough for me because I don't know the triggers. I haven't known the student long enough to actually know in any way, shape, or form what's going to set them off or their past history. When principals and school psychologists, and district members have been dealing with them for maybe 6 or 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, this is my first chance to ever deal with emotionally disabled children. Or this is my first chance to deal with these emotionally disabled children. So all in all is you need to identify the triggers if you can in any way, shape, or form. Come up with some very well structured SAEs for them and FFA projects. Don't let them just pick anything at random. They need to be well structured. Whether it's they work for you on campus in the shop or in the greenhouse. Don't let them. Don't I personally don't let them pick because I don't know what they're gonna see or where they're gonna set off a trigger anywhere down the road. So I keep them very structured, very well planned out, and a lot of self discipline. That's what you got to remember. The more self discipline they have, the better off it is for you because they know their boundaries and they know what line not to cross and where they can help you out the most. But yeah, that's emotionally disturbed, and I've had a lot of chances to deal with these students, and I feel that these are by far the hardest for me anyways. I don't know about what your guys' thoughts are, but ED is by far the most difficult for me to handle. Thanks a lot, guys. Tune in next week.